are wider. I'm really loving this silhouette right now. Hi everyone, I'm Angelina and this is Blueprint DIY, where we remake our clothes to be just as unique as us. If you've been watching the show for a while, you know that we are in a slightly different space. I am in an apartment and I am down here because right over here is the only thing from my thrift to upcycle stash that I brought over from my house. I was trying to keep everything pretty minimal. I should have thought about it a little bit more, but we are going thrifting tomorrow and I'm taking you guys with me on the video after this one. But this is light denim. I am going to crack this open and see if I can find some jeans for this look right here. That's what we're going for. It was suggested by I Am Natalie. She DM'd me on Instagram. Thank you for this inspiration. And the model here is Love Courtney. Courtney is a fabulous custom purse designer, bag designer. So you guys can check her out on Instagram. She's absolutely amazing. I've been following her for a while. So yes, we're gonna try to make these as simple as possible. So let's get into the box and see if I have the right jeans for the job. And basically what I'm looking for is just a really big pair of jeans. Most of the larger sizes that I see in jeans, the crotch is really long. And so they're automatically assuming that if you are a certain size, then you're also tall, which is absolutely not true. There are plenty of plus size petite girls and guys. So I find that to be really silly. But that's the only thing I'm worried about, is that the crotch length on these is going to be too long. So I don't know. Okay, so I have two pair that may work, and they both, I think the crotch is long. And I have a really short torso as well, so that in combination may not be the best fit, but we're gonna see. All right, so here's the first pair, Route 66, so a Walmart brand, and they are size 24. So these are women's jeans, and you can really tell that a lot by how you see the hips are wider. And I'm telling you this because you'll know, because if you do this on a straight leg pair of jeans, like a men's pair of jeans versus a woman's pair, it is gonna come out slightly different. So I want you to see what mine are so you know how it comes out. And this project is really, really good for girls like me who may have curves from the side, no curves from the front. Or if you do have curves and you're making room for your hips, this would be a great way to do that. So you would just, in that case, be filling it out, whereas I'm not. So like, I'm gonna sew it down on the sides, but you may not want to do that just to make room for your luscious curves. And also I'm thinking, because if I do this, my butt pockets are gonna be coming all the way to the side. Maybe I can, you see how it has that dark denim right there? I really like that. So I'm thinking maybe I'll take the pockets off and move them over just slightly so you can see that dark denim. So these are, once again, Route 66, and they are a size 26. Basically exact same pair of jeans, just a little bit bigger. These, I think, are gonna be way too big in just this area right here. So I'm gonna go with the smaller pair. All right, so I have the jeans on the table. There are several things that you can do in order to bring these in. Some of them are sewing, some of them are non-sewing. I am going to do a sewing method today, but I did want to give you guys some no-sew options as well. So I have the dungaree buttons, or the denim buttons that I ordered. Sometimes you can get them and they're not so reliable. I think that these are that kind, and so I have a backup. I have this old, you can tell it's old, it came from a garage sale. It was 25 cents. But these are like overall buckles, but the buttons in here are sew on. So they're like, you hand sew them. So they don't have that little clasp. Now, what you could also use, you could use grommets, where you would normally do a buttonhole, and where the button is supposed to go, you would find something that can go through that loop. So it's either some string, so like you can just take, you would would have the grommets on the sides, fold it over, take a piece of rope or string, tie it up in the front, and you're cinched in the middle. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is take the pockets off. Fitting it would have been my first choice, but I'm gonna save some time and go ahead and take the pockets off so I can place the pockets when I'm fitting it all at the same time. So taking pockets off on this type of denim shouldn't be too hard because it is very thick. So once I get it started, I should be able to do some ripping. So I do have these like hook style seam rippers. Like these for stuff like this because you can just go in and, especially with denim, you're not like, I wouldn't do it on silk, but. All right, so the pockets are off. That was actually faster, but I did make a little mistake here. I was ripping. So they'll probably end up getting placed more like this. And I'm actually gonna pin them down like that just to kind of test it out. So I'm just gonna pin down the side a little bit. And yes, I'm using regular pins after I just said we're not gonna stick ourselves today.
I'm a mess. Don't know how I got here, but I'm blessed. Didn't know it'd take me past my destiny.
I don't know how this is gonna look in the end. I feel like I definitely don't have as much like fold over as the inspiration pick. And I could have used the bigger jeans, but I just didn't like how they were on the, how big they were on the sides. So we're gonna go with it. All right, so the inspiration picture definitely doesn't look like it has an extra, like a stitch down the side, but I am going to do that. And then we're also going to sew back on the pockets because I really like that extra detail. And I am sewing today on the Sail Right Fabricator. Some of you asked me why I haven't been sewing on it in a while. Okay, so the short answer is that I've been trying out other sewing machines. The long answer is that I was killing this sewing machine. Like I was sewing all kind of stuff on it. I just really want to see the full range, whether it could not only do denim, but thin materials as well. So I was just sewing all kind of stuff on it. And I was going back and forth between colors a lot. And so I had an extra spool of thread here. And I didn't even know it. It had gotten caught in the wheel. And I was sewing one day, I'm like, what is wrong with this sewing machine? Like it is like doing some weird stuff. Like it's skipping stitches and stuff like that. Like it's not supposed to be doing this. So I got tweezers and that little hook thing that I was using earlier, that little scalpel thing. And I went in there and cut some of the threads and I was pulling the threads out. And it took me like 2 hours to get the thread out. So needless to say, I got everything out. It is sewing just like new. And needless to say, I do not put thread in the other spool holder anymore, just to be safe. Okay, so I took these in some more. You can see a little bit the line from where I took them in originally, and I want to take them in that much more. So that means these old ones need to come out, and then we can start making the buttonholes. Alright, so we are ready to put on our button. I have the buttonhole foot. We're switching over to the Burnett B77. This is a typical buttonhole foot, not too much different about it. It's just that this is a computerized machine, so it's supposed to kind of help you along, but going to basically put the buttonhole center of the waistband from this back. Doing a buttonhole through 2 waistbands, that's some heavy duty stuff, and I don't know if it can do it. So we're gonna try it through 4 layers of this denim and see what happens. That's weird and stupid. What would you like for me to do? I hate computerized sewing machines. over it. I'm over it. So it was, of course, user error. Duh. I did one. It turned out good. So we're going to try another one on for like 4 layers. And we're going to see how it goes. See, this is what ticks people off about buttonholes. That's my first buttonhole. Perfect little keyhole buttonhole. I lifted the darn thing back up to try to reset it, and this is what I get. That's what I get. Oh, frick. I hate buttonholes. I don't know if this is gonna do it, but we're gonna try and see. I might break a needle. All right, I'm done. And the key with this is, and of course I wouldn't feel comfortable doing the computerized machine like this. The key to this is when you're sewing through a lot of layers with your buttonhole foot, you do not want to, you want to kind of guide it. And you're actually not supposed to do that, like pull your fabric through your sewing machine. But you do want to do it in this instance, because if it gets stuck and it keeps going in one place, it's gonna make a little knot underneath the bottom, and it's not gonna do it. It's gonna stop, and you're gonna have half a buttonhole, and yeah, you're gonna be frustrated like I was frustrated. So let's see if we can get this to work. All right, so I did finally get it to work. That's a ugly buttonhole. Ugly, 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 because it was sliding off, just simply because this part right here is thicker. And because there's such a big difference between this 10 and 4, it was kind of sliding a little bit, but it did it. Y'all, I'm so mad. Like, I cannot tell you the level of frustrated I am with this expensive machine. And I knew, like, I know myself. I know that I'm a mechanical machine girl. And the reason I'm a mechanical machine girl is because I ask too much of my machines, and I expect them to do whatever I say. Computer machines don't do what you say, they do what they want to do. And so that frustrates me. And should I ask my machine to do things it shouldn't do? Probably not. But I've always been that way. And I like to get my way. And these computerized machines don't do what they feel like, or what they haven't been programmed to do. So yeah, I'm, quite frankly, right now I'm over it. But I'm gonna go ahead and do the other buttonhole on the Brother Strong and Tough, and we're gonna sew on our buttons and be done with this project. All right, so that was quite the journey, but let's see how they turned out.
No more you.
Could only get better. I need it more than ever. They gone. How can I believe you when everything is secret?
I have to say that even though I don't think I quite accomplished the exact look, which I'm never trying to accomplish the exact look from an inspiration, but I think I did something that I had intended on doing a long time ago. Remember back when we had this inspiration and I really wanted those, but I decided to do it with linen pants and it didn't quite work out because they were too flimsy. Well, what I ended up doing was just sewing them down on the sides, and it gave me more of that balloon effect that I had been really wanting. Before I sewed that down, they were kind of flapping open and I didn't like that. So I went ahead and sewed them down. And I think that helps to define that shape. So if you are naturally this shape, don't you feel honored, or maybe just you laugh and chuckle that like people are going through such lengths to get your shape. But I am really loving this silhouette right now. Let me me know in the comments below, like, is this a silhouette that you are interested in? I know that for this particular upcycle, it's not gonna necessarily be for everyone because, you know, you have to find a pair of pants that is that much bigger than you, and that's not always going to be the case for some people. However, let me think, how could you make that work? Oh, you could do this. Look at this tutorial right here. This is an old tutorial. You can take 2 pairs of jeans and stitch them together and then fold it to get that silhouette if that is what you're looking for and you can't find a pair of jeans that is big enough to get that extra on the sides. Yes, I'm glad I sat and thought about that. And that would really look really cool with the 2 tones. That would look sick, actually. So 2 pairs of jeans may be preferred. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think about my final look and about my struggles in between. Anyway, we have another episode of Next Top Upcycler coming on Saturday. I hope you guys are excited. We're all about denim this season. I have that episode right here for you, as well as other upcycles you can do for yourself right here. And make sure you subscribe so you don't miss an episode. We are doing some amazing things and I'm going thrifting tomorrow. So excited. So I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.